Shop smart, shop S-Mart.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the New Book Who Dis. I am your host, DeathMetalHero, and with me is a first-timer. We got Robert Geronimo. Geronimo Draws, creator of Blood Realm. What's going on, dude? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Man, that comes so natural. I love it.
Oh, yeah. I've been doing this voice for a long time.
I love it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, kind of cultivated that while I was doing the sing-along of Doom. That was
there you go.
That was one of my actually my first live stream was the sing-along of Doom. I was out in the garage and just I've been practicing and screaming and whatnot just because I wanted to sing. Out in the garage. And, I just decided to go live one day, and it became one of my most popular shows. And, from there, just the live streaming built and grew. And, here we are today. Yeah.
That's how it happens, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Natural growth, man.
Natural growth. I tried.
Natural growth. That one was laid back, she says. Thank you for being here, Feline. We'll go ahead and say hi to the chat. Mr. Unhinged Entertainment, Jason Bascom, my co-host on Topic List, says 3. That's sounds about right. Okay. And Skull, beautiful. Appreciate you being here, baby. Oh. That's my girl, Flying Feline.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, she's my favorite troublemaker. Always got my back. And then, of course, greetings, travelers.
That's right.
It's good to have you, man. It's this is the first time we actually gotten a chance to talk. I don't know if we've ever been on a stream before. No. I've seen you on a couple of Pete's shows before, but I don't think we've ever gotten a chance to talk, man. I have picked up a couple of the when I was working at the comic shop. We got some of the thick, I guess the collected editions of Blood Realms. Yeah. Dude, I love this book. It's a great book, man.
Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm looking forward to hearing about the inspiration. But why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like what kind of stuff you're reading right now? What am I reading right now?
Anything good? Anything standing out? Anything that you've gone back to that you really love?
Yeah. So I'm currently reading 2 books actually. So one I'm reading is a history book. It's called Pax. I'm just obsessed with ancient Rome and that whole period.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the rise and
Pax
fall.
Romana. Yeah.
So this is a new book by one of my favorite historians, Tom Holland, not the guy who played Spider-Man.
Similar name, not the same guy. Yeah,
exactly. Or maybe it is the same. Who the heck knows?
Right, he's moonlighting as a history writer, when he's not playing Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Hey, multiple talents. Yeah.
Phenomenal writer. And he just released his latest book is all about the Pax Romana era of Rome. Mm-hmm. And it's so incredible to hear how things are not so different. They're like civilizations never change. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's really incredible. The rise and fall and people competing for power. It's just amazing. The game has been played over and over and over again. Mm. And what's really cool is a chapter that's just dedicated to the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. And, he goes into the actual historical eyewitness accounts of people who documented what they saw. And it was like hell on earth. It was unreal, to hear it from, there's this historian, Pliny the Younger, who documents it. And you're reading this, you're just like, this literally sounds like the apocalypse. What it must have been like for these people. And
the end of the world, man.
Oh, totally. And the stages in which it happened. Because first, Vesuvius kind of just belches this dark cloud first. So the sky is just gone. And then what followed after that, I wasn't familiar with because I thought the lava came immediately. There was this orange cloud that was belched afterwards. And this cloud kind of came down. The heat was so intense that Pliny describes people's brains literally boiling, that you instantly were killed if you were caught up in this orange cloud of fire. Like it wasn't and then the lava came.
Right. Oh wow. So it had a preceding heat cloud. Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and how this completely, the whole entire sun was just blocked out for like a couple of days, and it was just I can't even imagine. So this was
No
during
wonder they
Pax
thought it was
Romana.
the end of the world. Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
I mean, that is definitely. I mean, that sounds like something apocalyptic. That sounds like
Totally.
the gods are absolutely pissed, and they're here to lay waste to humanity.
yeah,
Wow.
exactly. So
When Mother Nature gets mad, she don't fuck around.
no, and it's incredible because that whole region there to this day, it's really interesting in that part of Italy. They still to this day always. Almost the way they talk about Mount Vesuvius, like as if he's a god, because
Oh yeah.
he gives us such great riches because of the soil. I mean,
Sure.
Marzano tomatoes, everything over there. The soil is rich, but he could wake up any moment and he can just wipe us off the face of the earth.
The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, right?
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, so
Yeah.
It's interesting how it's such a part of their culture where they have a different relationship with death in this region. Because
Right.
they see it there every day, and they know it could happen any day.
Man, that's like having a giant sword of Damocles hanging over your head,
Yes,
all the time. Like,
Yeah.
and generations just grew up with the looming specter of doom.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah.
That'll change your outlook on life.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. It's really cool. So this book has been fantastic. So that's what I'm reading. I'm doing a lot of research for Blood Realm, and
Right.
I didn't expect that chapter to be in there, but I was like, oh man,
I mean, that seems like it would play perfectly into the Blood Realm story. I mean, that's
100%.
and what I love, and Feline says for them it was the end of the world. Yeah, absolutely,
totally.
it was.
Totally.
And what I love about using historical events is that you add that into your story, and it gives depth to the world that you're creating. It adds, and my viewers are going to know this. It's my favorite word, verisimilitude. It adds that life, that depth to the story that you're trying to tell. It makes it real.
Yes, it really grounds it to a place where it's like, ooh, this feels like it really happened. Is this history, or am I reading a fantasy book? So
Yeah.
it's a huge part. So another book I'm reading that is totally opposite because I needed some light reading after this.
I bet. I gotta change it up a little bit, a little levity.
Exactly. I wanted something extremely ridiculously pulpy, and I actually really enjoyed the recent Kong Godzilla movie because it was just so. Pulpy and
okay.
I enjoyed
Nice.
it silly, and I really like
Every now and then you got to watch a popcorn flick to just chill out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm actually reading the novelization of that.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Two
Nice.
completely opposite. And I'm not someone who really goes for mainstream stuff, but what really caught me was I love Kong. I always love the Kong films.
Oh yeah.
But this particular villain I really enjoyed. I thought he was the most interesting since he was another giant ape. You don't usually see Kong fighting other apes.
That's true. That's
And
true.
what's, my love of history, he's essentially a conqueror who it's never enough. He's conquering the hollow earth, but it's not enough for him. He wants the
Right.
surface. He needs more. He needs more, just like Alexander, just like Napoleon, just like Hitler.
Right.
He needed more. So I was like, all right, I don't know if this was all intentional, but I like this guy. Well, not like him. I mean, like, I'm
Right.
intrigued by this villain, and I can't wait for Kong to kick his butt. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, there's that certain level of catharsis that happens when the villain gets his comeuppance.
Yes.
That's why we like really bad villains. They're terrible people, and it's always like I said, cathartic to watch them get their comeuppance, get their ass kicked.
Yeah, it's
You
fun.
know?
And you have that build up to it, and it kind of he doesn't show up till I would say relatively, maybe even later, past the midpoint of the film. But there's tremendous, I would say, build up. And not putting it on the level of Moby Dick, but the reason I love Moby Dick so much in Ahab is that Ahab isn't introduced until like page 164.
Yeah.
So you're wondering, where is this Ahab? But there's so much build up, this description, the way people talk about him. And then when he enters the scene in Moby Dick, you're like, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
That's Ahab. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, when you're going to introduce a character like that, you got to have the appropriate build up. Otherwise, the impact's not there.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. And all these whispers of Ahab and Moby Dick, you know, everyone talking about him, what it was like sailing with him, and he starts to feel like legend. And then what's incredible, what Melville does is that when he does appear, it's not disappointing. It's actually like, oh wow, so this is all like true. I understand.
Yeah.
Why he has all of this tied to him. Oh, so cool.
Yeah, the legend is real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It's been a while since I've read Moby Dick. I might have to go back and reread
Tremendous
that.
book. It's phenomenal. It's going to take like probably like 2 years because it's
Right.
huge.
Well, see, I like to do audiobooks. Because I love listening to audiobooks when I'm mowing the lawn, doing the dishes, when I'm inking a page. When I'm sitting down to ink a page, once I've done the drawing and I've laid out the page, the heavy lifting's done.
Yep.
Got it penciled out, ready to go. Just then the inking is just going in and tightening things up and adding the depth and everything like that. So I mean the heavy lifting's already done, so I'll throw on an audiobook. I just recently finished the Savage Tales of Solomon Kane.
Oh, so good. Oh,
Dude, Robert E. Howard was an incredible author.
You want to talk about my influence?
Amazing.
He's like one of the number one. He's up in top 5.
Excellent. You know what? I can totally see that with Blood Realm, actually.
He was equally fascinated with history and
yes, he was.
Specifically the fall of civilizations. When at that period of when they're at their end, and you see that with a lot of the kingdoms in the worlds that he creates.
Oh yeah,
and, just there's something about that pulpiness that we talk about, right?
I absolutely love the pulpy nature of those stories, just the way they're constructed. The episodic nature of them as well. You've got a continuing through line through most of them,
right?
But they're episodic. These things happen in a self-contained little story, and then it's done. And then you move on, and maybe in the next one he'll mention something that happened in one of the previous adventures, but it's not essentially crucial to the story that you're currently reading.
100%.
I love that the nature of that. But yeah, and Solomon Kane's such a badass character.
Oh my!
It's just so damn cool.
I couldn't believe it when I found out that he created him too. Because at first I didn't know, and then when I was like, oh my god, this guy is a genius.
Yeah, and he found more success with Solomon Kane at first than he did with Cull. And
right?
Cull's kind of like the proto Conan.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually really enjoyed the first Cull story as well. Just the way that the whole thing was constructed. And that was he wrote that when he was really young, so it has it has its flaws, but it's still really well constructed, and you can tell where he's going to go with his stories later on. I'm currently going through the Conan stories now, all the Conan tales. Yeah,
you can't go wrong with that stuff. The pulps is what really heavily influenced me in terms of the world building, the writing.
Nice.
I like to buy some like reprints of the old pulp magazines. I have a couple. I just love those, and I love the black and white illustrations that accompany the writing. It's just, I don't know. There's just something so incredibly. It reminds me of like early comics, or what comics were, where anything could happen in a comic. With the pulps, I could totally see why they were the precursor to comics.
Totally, man.
Anything could happen in a pulp. They went everywhere.
Yeah, they did anything. It was pure fiction. They could do anything. They could talk about anything. Yeah. I used to work in my local comic shop, and that's where I first encountered Blood Realm. Like I was saying, I picked up some of the giant issues. And we used to sell the Shadow reprints, the books, the square bound Shadow reprints. Yeah, and we would get them for customers, and I would thumb through, and they're so cool. You just read little excerpts here and there. I've never read any of them, but I've listened to all of the old Shadow radio plays, like with George Orwell, and just amazing.
So good.
Yeah,
isn't it funny, right? You think about the popularity of audiobooks now. You think about, when you think of those radio dramas.
So good. I love radio dramas.
Yeah. Interesting, right? It's like, here we are, we want audiobooks, but then they were kind of doing that and mastering that.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
They really were. The radio, well, that was TV before there was TV. It was theater of the mind. and they had honed it to such a fine point.
Yeah.
I mean, the radio, or the Shadow Radio program was like the most popular thing in the country at one point.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, that and the Lone Ranger was another one. And it's funny talking about that. There's this wonderful story. I've read about it, and I've seen it in different kind of like little collections that describe radio dramas or pulps. And when the Lone Ranger was first a TV show, remember, it was black and white, obviously. They asked this kid who, it was already a huge hit. He's like, wow, how exciting is it that you get to now see Lone Ranger on TV? You've been listening to the radio dramas. And the kid said, yeah, it's okay. And they were like, what do you mean? He was like, I liked it better when it was in color. Because in his head.
Yep. Theater of the
cool
mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
So imagine, I liked it better when it was in color. The imagination,
Well, that's the reason why when there's like a monster movie, right? If the less they show you of the monster, the more terrifying that monster is. Because your mind is going to come up with something infinitely more terrifying than anything that they can make in science in the special effects department.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the one exception of that might be John Carpenter's The Thing, but that movie is just incredible.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what's funny? If you're going to do it like that, where you're going to show the creature, it has to be something that really sticks with you, and essentially has to disturb you a little bit, because otherwise, you see the alien so much, for example, at this point, after the first movie.
Yeah.
How do you get scared from by that creature?
Exactly. It becomes blasé almost.
Yeah, it's so familiar. You know exactly what it looks like. You know the grooves on its tail at this point. You can count it in your sleep.
I mean, especially if you end up drawing the thing, a few times. Yeah, you kind of, looking at the pictures of the toys and whatnot to figure out the different grooves and the spine and like the skull inside the dome and everything like that. Yeah, it's a fantastic design though. Geiger did an amazing job with it.
Incredible. No, it's a perfect design. It really is.
Yeah, but I totally see what you mean. Once you see the monster a lot, it kind of loses that air of mystery. Kind of like the Predator. The first Predator movie, had such an air of mystery about it. And then, you finally see him at the end, and, all the other films, they're quick to bring the Predator out, and you see him, and it's, I don't know, there's a little bit of mystery lost, I think. What's up, Morb?
He's such an iconic character at this point, too. Hey, thank you
really
for reading more, but I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. This is actually the writer on my book that I'm working on. We're working on Mercenary Guild together. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we're talking about influences. Flying Feline wanted to know if it was influenced by Romulus and Remus, Blood Realm.
Is it? Oh, well, the story of Romulus and Remus. By the way, my heater turned on. Is that too loud? Can you hear that?
Nah, you're fine, man. Yeah,
you sure?
We're good. Yeah.
Okay, because I can turn it off if it's too...
No, you don't have to freeze on my account. I can still hear you.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah.
All right, good. So, Romulus and Remus, I mean, the legend is certainly, without a doubt, Roman history in general.
Yeah.
In terms of certainly Romulus and Remus, when you think about how the Roman people in their blood, right? What was Romulus and Remus? What were they nursed on? They were nursed on wolf's milk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so think about that for a warrior culture. We don't take human milk. Our ancestor, our king, our first king, our line of people were nursed on wolf's milk. That was the most respected predator in their time.
Apex predator, sure.
Yeah, so think about that. That literally makes them almost like the Tyrannosaurus Rex of civilization.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that mentality and that legend certainly plays into Blood Realm in terms of forging civilizations and a culture for the comic, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Oh, that is wicked cool. So where did the idea for Blood Realm come from? How long ago did it pop into your head? Because I know you've been doing this series for quite a while now. I mean, you're on what, issue 15, 16, 17?
After this campaign ends, we're going to be on 18, which is pretty cool.
Oh wow, yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's been quite a ride, and it's been great. You know what it is too? What's funny is that I always wanted to tell a story with a knight who has to fight some gigantic creature. It's just something I always wanted to tell. I love legends like that, you know, King Arthur, Beowulf, you know.
Oh yeah.
And even in art, you know, I love the warrior Saint George when he fights the dragon, saves the princess.
Yeah.
You know, it's so metal and it's so epic. So these are things I always want to incorporate, but I thought no one would want to read that stuff. You know, so in the back of my mind, you know, this is what we do as artists, right? We think, well, you know, no one wants to read my stories. They're going to want to read something that's already out. So I used to, when I was starting out, you know, I would kind of not quite chase trends, but I would see what other people were doing, and I would think I would need to do that. Or I thought no one would want to read my dark fantasy stuff, so I was doing children's books for a while.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that was my first real foray into publishing and illustration, was children's books. And then what happened was I was like, you know what, this is what I really love, because when I was looking at what I was sketching for fun, it was this stuff. It was monsters. It was knights.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I doing? I need to be doing this, because the sketchbook never lies, you know? So
that is true.
Yeah, if I'm warming up doing this before my children's book stuff, maybe this is what I should be doing. So I really leaned into it, and slowly this story started to develop that just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was able to use this to also, because I'm a art history professor as well. You know, I have
oh, very cool.
Yeah, so I just incorporate all of this instead of writing a textbook, like my colleagues say. Oh, when are you going to do a textbook? I don't want to do a textbook. I want to make a comic.
Comic books are infinitely more fun than textbooks. Come on now.
1,000% I agree.
Right.
So,
what's up, Rex? Welcome.
Good to see you, Rex. Greetings. I just pour all of my love of history, mythology, religion, all into this. All into it. You know, to give it that. You know, I've always been fascinated by these things, and this is an amalgam of all of that with a little dark fantasy twist, you know.
Yeah. Wearing that Robert E. Howard influence right on the sleeve. I mean, you know, that's what he did. You know, he took everything that he loved, and he was widely read. You know, he read poetry, he read histories, he read mythologies, he read religion. I mean, he read everything that he could get his hands on. And that's why I feel like, at least to me, I think that's why his worlds feel so fleshed out, why his characters feel so fleshed 100%. Out. You know, because he's pulling from everything that, you know, that he consumed, you know, and he put it into his work.
Yes, and Tolkien did the same thing.
Yeah,
grounded
I agree.
In those things. And let's be honest, those things are the coolest things ever. That's real.
I mean, they feel real in spite of the fact that they are in, you know, places that have never existed theoretically. Right. That, you know, we will never go to, we will never see. Well, there are no pictures of, you know, except for paintings and drawings. Yeah. They feel real. Yeah. They call out to something that is intrinsic to the human experience.
1,000%.
And it's because they were pulling from our real world and you know, using it to influence their world.
Absolutely. And now we're putting, you know, flaming swords, and we're putting magic, and we're doing all this fun stuff, you know. So
man, these covers are great, by the way.
Thank you.
Absolutely love them. And you've got a killer's row on this little mini series. I mean, Kristian Rossi and KEIR Covington, I'm familiar with. I'm not familiar with Juan, but
Sanabria. He's new and he's been crushing it. And I'm illustrating so this is The Dawn of the Wolf is issue 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So I did 13 and 14. So we got Kristian doing the next two. And then Juan is doing a couple little short stories, and then KEIR and I are doing the last, 17 and 18. So it's jam-packed. We are going to the time of the obese, when these were these legendary prehistoric monsters, almost like kaijus that existed.
Yeah.
So, and how they were kind of vying for power before human civilization really rose up. So, and I love this cover by KEIR. You know, it's just
I know. I mean, this needs to be a T-shirt. I'm just saying. Like that is just badass.
Yeah. So yeah, KYRON is going to go through a lot. He's the one we're following here, the leader of the Iron Wolves, and let me tell you, I put him through the ringer. You know, I really do, and this really shows what he's going to go through. It's going to be rough.
Well, I mean, that's what makes people really enjoy a character. That's what makes them stick with the character's adventure.
Exactly.
You know, they want to see the character, essentially go through hell and persevere.
Yes, exactly.
You know?
That's the whole thing, because what happens is it's like, all right, well, what makes a hero? That's the thing you start to analyze, And I was reading the Iliad, I was reading the Odyssey, and I think about the absolute hell that Odysseus goes through.
Oh, yeah.
About what Achilles goes through, and he's such a complicated figure. He's mysterious. You can't quite figure him out. His allegiance to everything, allegiance to the warrior life, and his anger. The wrath of Achilles, how it gets the best of him, and. These are all like things I wanted to incorporate in KYRON MORVEL's journey from slave, right? Almost like Conan the Barbarian,
right,
to leader of the Iron Wolves.
That's awesome. And the whole, like we were saying, the wrath of Achilles, and that's kind of what leads to his downfall. That's kind of a parable. It's a warning. And to the readers, to the people hearing the story. One of the things that I talked with Pete about the last time I was on his show is how important storytelling is. That's how you get information across. That's how we kept our history. It's how we before we had written history and the written word. We told stories.
Yes, and
that's how you pass down wisdom. Yeah. Rex says Roberto makes such metal artwork and he doesn't listen to much metal, and that's amazing to me.
I know. Everyone thinks like, so what metal? They see my artwork, they go, so what metal bands do you listen to? I was like, oh, I actually don't, and they're like, what? That's impossible. And
I'm quite frankly, I'm a little shocked because
I like it. I like metal music. I just don't. Please give me recommendations. My readers do all the time. So
I can definitely give you some recommendations. That's my bread and butter. I love me some metal, especially death metal. I mean, obviously, I took the name DeathMetalHero.
Right.
So yeah. But yeah, I see you've got a vinyl up there.
Yes.
We'll have to talk about what's on that vinyl record. Morb says he has an Alterna collector's box for Blood Realm only. Hell yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
What's up, Gordon? Good to see you, sir. Says just pre-ordered by my copies a few hours ago, Rob.
You're the man.
Excellent.
Gordon. Thank you, brother.
Rex Doom is Rob's dad, confirmed. Roberto. Heretic.
Oh,
yeah.
No, I'm in trouble.
It's all right. We'll get him into the metalhead group sooner rather than later.
Yes. Absolutely.
Iron Maiden's a good place to start. That's some epic stuff.
I will say I have enjoyed a little bit. I don't know the band names, but there was some cool things, like I think it was called gothic metal. My readers told me it has almost like cathedral, like kind of epic chants, and then you have so I don't know if you could recommend bands of that in that subgenre.
Well, there's one band. I mean, they're very heavy. They're a death metal band out of Italy called Flesh God Apocalypse, and they literally mix like death metal with Italian opera in their music.
Go! Are you serious?
Right? Oh yeah, it's fantastic, man. They're one of my favorite bands. Love that band. Flesh God Apocalypse. Oracles is a great album. Mafia is a great album. I think you might dig them. They are straight up death metal, but they mix it with opera, and it speaks to me. My last name's Alietta, so I'm Italian.
Anch'io.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Family's from northern Italy, Biella.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Northern,
so up north.
Nice.
Yeah, northern Italian. So I've got quite a bit of Viking in me as well.
Yeah, well,
and then Hessian on my dad's side, so I'm quite fond of Amon Amarth as well. I don't know if you've ever listened to them. They're Viking metal band, and they work a lot of like Nordic history into their music.
Amon Amarth.
Amon Amarth, yeah.
Okay, I have these two set up here, so
awesome.
That's what I'm talking about.
You'll have to let me know what you think.
I will.
Oh, see, Rex Doom knows what he's talking about. Knows what I'm talking about. Checked out Oracles, great stuff. Hell yeah, dude. High on Fire is another good one. I think you'd dig that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm psyched.
Yeah, man. I love metal. It's one of the things that I listen to. Obviously when I'm out in the garage, lifting weights and whatnot. But I also, when I'm drawing,
Heck yeah.
just I love it. I love it, man. When I'm writing, I will actually put together playlists of specific bands that kind of fit the mood for what I'm writing. Sometimes it has to be without words, because if I'm writing something, I'll hear words and it'll start messing me up.
Yeah,
but yeah,
orchestral is really important to me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. If you're looking for just instrumental stuff, I mean, try Animals as Leaders.
Animals as Leaders.
Mm-hmm. And
okay,
Chimp Spanner is another one that's in that vein.
All right.
And then as far as just kind of groovy, fun stuff, John 5. John 5 is probably one of my favorite guitarists. He's Rob Zombie's guitarist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
John 5.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So he does metal music as well, John 5.
Yeah, it's instrumental, but it kind of borders on heavy metal and just hard rock. It's just fun, groovy, fun stuff that I think you'll dig. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Awesome. Yeah, you'll have to let me know what you think of these bands, man. I'm wicked curious, I got to admit.
Oh, great. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I love introducing people to the stuff that I love. It's one of the reasons why I loved working in a comic shop. It's one of the reasons why I do this show, is to talk to creative people, talk to people that love comic books, and spread the word about comics. So it's always fun to introduce people to new stuff.
Yeah.
Flying Feline actually has introduced me to a lot of music. I'm more in the death metal and the metal era and range of stuff, and she's definitely more into like the alternative rock and the classic rock and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she's turned me on to a bunch of different stuff. Like she got me listening to Oingo Boingo. I don't know if you're familiar with Danny Elfman's old band.
Yeah,
dude, I love Oingo Boingo, and it's because of her. I blame her.
That's awesome.
Music is one of those things that I feel, speaks to the soul, and it helps inspire when creating these type of things.
Oh yeah.
So,
no, it's crucial. For me, it's always orchestral, it's always instrumental, and it's always on long walks when I'm listening to this stuff where ideas start to formulate. So it's a key process. It's actually something that Charles Dickens did. He was infamous for his long walks. And he would carry a little notepad with him, and he would just write furiously as he would walk. And
I actually did hear that. Yeah,
it's a huge part. John 5, Petrucci or Beast?
And Petrucci,
nice.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
They're both of those guys are kind of like guitar nerd stuff. Like they just jam out on that guitar, and it's amazing the stuff that they can do. Yeah. Rex Doom says you have to listen to Metallica and Justice for All because you have to.
Because you have to. Yeah.
It's kind of like a quintessential metal album. I will say this, and don't hate me, Rex. I prefer Megadeth over Metallica all day, every day. I prefer Dave Mustaine.
Okay. I have no comment, so I'm just going.
Megadeth. Rust in Peace is a great album, but you may like early Cure.
Okay.
Perhaps. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds
yeah, man. I keep looking at this cover here, and I'm serious. I want this on a shirt. Like that would just be so badass. Like either a red shirt or a black shirt. That would be wicked cool.
Oh yeah, no, it really would. And I got to tell you, this is nothing. The interiors are wild.
I bet.
Yeah,
Kier does amazing work.
Yeah,
like I love his stuff, man. He's got some great line work, and he just gets it. He's a beast when it comes to comics, man.
This is the largest, and this is the most, I would say, the most epic miniseries in this chapter. Oh yeah, so we got my love of history, and Rome. I had to get some type of gladiatorial arena in there.
Oh, for sure.
And this is an interesting period that we're visiting because this is the earliest, chronologically speaking, in the timeline. So if some of you never read Blood Run before, you could just grab this series and you could just start right here.
Okay.
But just like Robert E. Howard, I'm influenced the same way as you were talking, where it's like, it's the same world, but we have these kind of isolated stories within this universe. And that's exactly kind of what Blood Realm is. Even though this is a big overarching story, you could dive into any chapter, essentially, and you'll get the gist because you're getting a different perspective.
I mean, that's a great thing to do, especially when you're doing a long running story like this. I mean, the age old adage is that every comic is somebody's first comic book, and making it accessible for people to just jump in and get that story and start enjoying there's something to be said for that. I mean, that's probably one of the reasons why the pulps were so successful.
Oh, sure.
People could just jump into that one story and then they're hooked. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's really important. So yeah, we're seeing this period in the story where humans are slaves. This is like human flesh is cheap at this point in the story. You know what I mean? That's how low they are on the totem pole at this time period. And we don't see that in the other parts of the storyline. So now we're seeing this, and you're thinking, how the heck do humans rise up from this? And that's what this entire arc is.
Okay.
Because we know eventually humans do end up ruling Vorogoth, which is the main city. That's the region in the capital that every race in this series wants to capture.
Right.
It's everything. Vorogoth is everything,
And it's the center of the world.
Exactly. It's Rome, essentially, right? How do you take that and eventually, obviously, we know they do, but how they do it had to be something incredibly epic and inspired by all of those different things,
That's wicked cool, man. Yeah. And this page is epic, man.
Yeah.
Like that. Wow. Again, KRISTIAN Rossi does such great work, man. He's so damn good. I got introduced to his work on Voidwalker, actually. From back in the day. Yeah.
I know.
I love his work, and I've enjoyed his work and everything that I've seen him do.
Yep.
Just super expressive characters, the line weights, just dude knows how to do comics.
Oh, sure. So,
these pages are great, man.
Oh, it's gonna be epic. We have all these horrific creatures that are used for entertainment as well. This is a rough time, but it needs to be a rough time because there's this sense of anticipation. So they're all waiting for this famed mythological warrior of light to come. And what's interesting is that all the races essentially believe in this warrior of light who's going to come, and be this servant to the goddess of light. But what's interesting is that they would never dream in a million years it'd be a human. So
okay.
Yeah, so there's this sense of the mages are like one day, the mages are like these kind of like humanoid looking creatures, have like little, like almost features a little bit resembling bats in a way.
Okay.
So when they find out that these humans believe that there's a warrior of light among them, they think it's absolutely ridiculous. That's preposterous. Nothing good could come from the human race.
Right.
That's insane. And then we see this whole incredible battle. So, and then
it's a little like Spartacus in that regard.
Sure.
The hero coming from the slave caste.
Absolutely. 100%.
That's wicked cool, man.
Yeah. And we're visiting the era of the old beast.
Morb says, Blood Realm did inspire me, but I did not rip off anything yet.
I have my eye on you.
He's watching. We'll see. Yeah, now at least we know he'll check out Mercenary Guild. You got to make sure.
Yes, exactly.
Got to make sure there's nothing ripped off there.
Exactly. Oh man. So
Robert seems to have a style similar to Jason Bascom, in my opinion.
I have to look up Bascom. That sounds familiar.
He does Absolute. And he is doing Frog G with the ink spots. It's my co-host on Topicless.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, let's see. He just put out this Absolute One Stormy Night. This is his most recent book. I'll bring this
cool.
up here. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm not familiar with his work.
Yeah, he does some good stuff. This is my buddy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man. He's been on to talk with Pete a couple of times as well. But good dude, great artist. His style is kind of influenced by Jonathan Weishak and Sam Keith, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha. I know Sam Keith. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Man, look at this. KEIR just blows me away every time I see his stuff. He's
you know what's incredible?
Yeah.
Like I told him, like, all right, this is what I really want for this page, and both of them. This is a good example of both of them just really getting it. They get the vibe of the story, and what we're seeing here, which I think you'll really appreciate, we see the same location, but different eras of that. So
very cool.
So we see the age of the beasts here. When the old beasts, the prehistoric creatures, and we have the rise of early human civilization who are worshiping these great beasts. Because, I mean, I would if I looked and saw these.
Seriously, they're stomping around, eating people. I mean, they're essentially gods of the earth.
Exactly. So we have all of these different tribes who follow these different old beasts, and we see this great war. And what's interesting is that then we see the city of Vorogoth under the reign of the mages. These are the ones who really control magic, and I wanted that ancient Rome Pax Romana vibe there.
Yeah.
And this is, now you get a little hint of Juan Sanabria's artwork. So KYRON
Man,
Morvell,
that's badass.
Oh yeah. So this creature her name is Silgameth, and she is a demigoddess. She's the daughter of lust, the goddess of lust. And KYRON has to slay different types of creatures to truly prove himself to be the warrior of light, and conquering lust is one of the biggest.
Wow, that definitely looks like a creature of lust. Kind of like a lust demon or something like that.
She's horrific.
That is a badass page, man.
Oh, he did an amazing job. People are gonna really be impressed with his work.
Take it easy, Morb.
Take it easy, brother.
Yeah, don't let the Bay Area traffic get you. Good luck, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so the Blood Realm vinyl. What? Orchestral tracks.
Yes.
Very cool.
All orchestral, epic soundtrack inspired by each of the old beasts. We have the track list. This is that one in that Warrior of Light bundle is the last one. We did a pressing of 100.
Oh, dang. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So the only way to get this is with the Warrior of Light bundle right over here.
All the add-ons are gone. It's the ones that I made a certain portion that were add-ons and certain that were part of the Warrior of Light, and this is the last one.
That's wow. To hear that all the add-ons are gone, that's awesome. Yeah. That's wicked cool. That means the audience is responding to that.
I know.
And they wanted that vinyl, know.
And it's a nice red vinyl.
I dig it, man.
Yeah. So it's red. So they're here. I have them because I had to do this in advance.
Yeah, totally.
So the pressing, and I did the front and back cover, of the art sleeve.
That's badass, dude.
The album sleeve, and it's a really awesome soundtrack. And
I bet.
I can't wait for everyone to hear it. I did a stream with the composer. He's a close friend of mine. We kind of worked on this together. And
I'm streaming. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, it's all right.
Yeah.
So So I did this with him, and we did a whole stream breaking down, the process, so people could hear little previews of the music rather.
I love it. I love when campaigns have like a soundtrack that goes along with it, because like I was saying earlier, I'll actually make playlists for when I'm working on something. And I love it when music is made to go along with, because to me, art and music and comics go hand in hand.
Oh sure.
It's all storytelling. Music, even if there are no words, is storytelling. You get that mood across, you get that feeling, and it's telling a story with the musical notes. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's wicked cool. And the fact that it's all orchestral stuff, I think that's because it honestly it looks like a metal cover. It looks like a metal soundtrack. And I love the fact that it's orchestral. It's something different. Unexpected, I guess.
Yes.
And I do love classical as well, so I love orchestral stuff.
Yeah.
in my opinion, like classical music was heavy metal before there was electricity.
Oh, sure.
You know, because you
without
had
a doubt.
the crashes, the bombacity, you know, like the big sounds. You know, they were trying to elicit an emotion with the music. Yeah,
Absolutely. And yeah, we'll see where this goes. So far, the response is strong, and like obviously one left. So I would like to do another one.
wow.
That's why I'm doing a lot of research for metal music, because I'd like to do a metal inspired album based on the series.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Rex Doom says, "Go ahead and send me my vinyl, thanks."
You're the man. Rex. Thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, that is a badass cover, front and back, man. It'd be an awesome thing to add to any vinyl collection. I didn't really understand the whole vinyl thing until I inherited my dad's record player and his vinyl collection, and I hooked it up to my sound bar, and then I put on Led Zeppelin, and you know, Black Dog started playing, and like that, the crackle and the pop, and it just, I got it. I understood. You know, I was like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah. And they still work. That's the difference. What do you think about that? Like the vinyl still works.
Oh yeah.
You know,
and I listen to a lot of music on my phone. I've got a 128 gig card in my phone just because I listen to music a lot. You know, in the car, you know, doing whatever. But there's the digital reproduction. It doesn't have the peaks and the valleys. You know, it's got the most of the sound, but it kind of cuts off the top and the bottom. I found out, but with vinyl, you get the whole spectrum. You get the peaks, the valleys, and you get that full rich sound. And I think it's because vinyl is something, you know, it's physical, it's tangible, and you've got that physical interaction of the needle going into the groove and recreating the sound, so you get this full, rich sound. It's something physical. With digital, it's, you know, it's just a digital thing. It kind of feels a little hollow afterwards. I didn't realize that, you know, until I started listening to my dad's old records, and you know, I get it now. Zeppelin. See, that's one of the things she and I, you know, very much love together. You know, we enjoy some Zeppelin. Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. He's awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I think it's wicked cool that you're doing vinyl, man, and I'm so excited about you possibly doing a metal album to go along with it.
Yes. My buddy and I have already been. That's why I've been asking for references and just see what people are into. So when it comes to it, you know, because we're very serious about doing that, working on that together.
Talk to Odin Dasko. He and Broken Compass Comics, they did Kill Them Dead, and they actually hired Jacob Lizotte. I think that's how you say his last name. I may have just butchered it. But he does music. He composes stuff. He'll make stuff for you. Cool. So if you're looking to get like music made for a specific album, I can't recommend him enough. I've bought tracks from him before to use with my chronal compression videos and in the background of my videos here. He does a great job. You know, he's super talented. But yeah, talk to Odin Dasko. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's an artist. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, highly recommend Jacob Lizotte. He's on YouTube, and I'll make sure you have a link so you can check out his stuff. But he's ridiculously talented, man. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, totally. I'll check it out. Send me the links, and I'll definitely give it a look.
Absolutely. Feline says, talk about Traveler.
Talk about Traveler. Oh, maybe why I say Traveler?
Because you're traversing the realms, the blood realm.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. Maybe she's talking about Zeppelin. Talk about Traveler.
Oh,
perhaps.
Oh,
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, could be. Hey, what's up, Hockey? Good to see you, man. You're well, you know. Hey, man. People reach out to me, and I try to accommodate. You know, and again, I love talking to different, you know, creators. You know. A wide range, and there's so much talent over in this scene. It is just ridiculous, you know.
No, absolutely. It's and that's why it's important to really. I have to say, one thing I'm learning after all of this is how important it is to have this presence on YouTube. You know, I've been developing
Yeah.
my YouTube channel, taking it
Yeah.
way more seriously. It's been about, has it been a year yet where I've been really serious? I don't even know. But it's been a tremendous growth, you know, developing that drawing live. I do draw streams almost every day. So,
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Jason and I do a draw stream every Tuesday. We switch between my channel and his.
Oh,
It's
cool.
called Topicless.
Oh, very
We
nice.
do it at 9:15 p.m. I mean, you're more than welcome to come hang out and draw with us if you want, man.
Cool. Yeah,
You know, I don't know when you do your streams,
Right.
if they're at night or earlier in the day, but yeah,
It depends.
you're-
But
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it's been really cool. These are the things I draw live. I draw these sketch cards.
These sketch cards are awesome, man.
Oh, thank you.
I dig them. Are they? So they're on red paper.
Yeah, so I have official Blood Realm sketch cards.
Nice.
Yeah, with a skull
Dig
border
it.
around it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice weighty 17-point stock. And
Ooh,
yeah, I
yeah.
paint on these. I do the whole gamut with these guys.
I love it, man. I love the effect that you get with it.
Thank you.
And Feline says you said hello, travelers, and that is Zeppelin to her.
Okay.
yeah.
Got
So
it.
yeah, if you want to, kind of give a little insight into why you say hello, travelers.
It wasn't because of Zeppelin. It's mainly because I just feel like, you know, in the world of Blood Realm, we're traversing to all of these different regions,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you're taking this journey along with me, you know, this pilgrimage, if you will. So
Absolutely.
greetings, travelers.
Yeah, no, I get it. We are
my
all fellow
catchphrase.
travelers on this, on this plane of
Yes.
existence, right?
That's exactly right.
Hockey says draw stream. Are you sure? Yes, Hockey. Even if I can't always show what I'm drawing, it is a draw stream. Jason always draws something. I've got to figure out why my computer, when I'm trying to like draw on Photoshop, my OBS will start glitching. So I don't want to give people seizures with my videos. So
Right.
what's up, Haldir? Good to see you. Welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out, man.
How's it going?
Yeah, these cards are fucking badass, man.
Thank you. Back
Oh,
issues
so
are
there is.
available.
Ooh, that is cool.
Oh, thank you.
So is
I got a
this
couple
is
of
this
these
is you on the shirt here?
Yes.
Man, that is wicked
Yeah.
cool.
That's my art on the shirt, and there's another one too.
I'm kind of a sucker for graphic tees.
Oh, heck
I
yeah.
love them. You know, it's what I wear all the time. I mean, I have a tendency to cut the sleeves off of them, obviously, but you know, I love graphic tees. I love. As a matter of fact, I just got Jawbone Death, and I ordered the T-shirt with that as well.
Nice. Cool.
So yeah, I haven't opened it yet. I'm gonna see if I can get Jason Krager and Adam
Sure,
Lawson to
Adam.
come hang out
Yeah.
for. I do a show called What's in the Box, where I open up
Oh.
what I've gotten from like different campaigns.
Cool. Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's awesome book. That's the other one too.
Oh, that's a cool shirt too.
Yeah, that's the main villain, Archdemon Targanis. All hail
Let's
the
see.
blighted one. His followers say.
And
And
trading cards.
Yeah,
I love the design on the trading cards, reminiscent of the old Marvel cards.
that's right. Yeah, no,
I dig it.
he
Yes,
knows what he's doing.
man after my own heart.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah, Pete's a great dude, man. I enjoy hanging out with Pete. I enjoy talking with Pete. We'll talk about, this, that, and everything. It's just conversations with Pete will go anywhere and everywhere, and I absolutely love it. It's so much fun.
And he's great to work with. I've been with him for, my God, how many years with his company, Alterna? Is it 6 years now? That's how long. So
That's awesome.
yeah, no, it's very fortunate that he was the first person, to decide that Blood Realm was worthy of being published. So really grateful.
That's awesome, man. And I don't think you could find a better place to get published. I mean, seriously, Alterna's a great company, man.
It's true.
Yeah, I hate T-shirts like that. Yes, definitely, definitely. It's terrible. I just never ever do I wear T-shirts like that at all ever. Yep. These are both badass, man.
Thank you. Man.
I love it. You know.
Thank you. Yeah,
I love the
too.
That's fantastic. That's a good thing. I like it. I like it when stuff like that is made as an add-on, so people can get they can get the comic and they can get a shirt to go along with it as well.
Yeah, I think I have the build your own bundle option, so this way you can go and make your own. There you go. Yeah,
there it is. Yeah,
and just add whatever you want. This way customize your own, your own bundle for yourself.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Shipping is reduced to $1 to make up for the cost of this perk. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's wicked cool. Digital bundle. Okay, so you can get the record and you can get all the back issues.
Yep. You get all the comics.
So, now are there physical back issues as well?
Oh yes, those are add-ons, and there's a back issue. Is there a back issue bundle there? I don't know.
Dawn of the Wolf back issue bundle right there.
So you can
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, and then you could add on the new ones. Yeah, that comes with as much as we have. There's a couple missing because Pete didn't want to give me copies that were creased a little bit.
Sure.
So there's only like 2 or 3 that are missing, but you could get them from Alterna, but they'll be reader copies, not that pristine.
Right. And I think I actually grabbed volume. I think I had the volume 1 giant and the volume 2 giant from back in the day.
Yeah, that volume 1 is out of print.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah,
well, I'm glad I grabbed it when I did then.
Yeah, I'm glad I kept 2 for myself. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, got to hold on to them.
That's the end of that.
I think it's awesome that you got back issues available for people as well.
Sure.
Whether it be the digital version or the actual physical books,
right.
That way people can catch up on the story.
Totally.
I was actually talking to Brian, who's the publisher of Shattermare, who's putting out Mercenary Guild, and I was telling him that I had a show with you tonight, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Blood Realm is actually one of those books that I want to check out," and so he was hoping that he was going to be able to get the back issues to check out the entirety of the story. So
great.
I'll have to tell him that he can.
Yes.
And the collector's box bundle.
Oh yeah. So we're making a nice, beautifully packaged box here, and it's going to have the latest miniseries in it.
Okay, so this is basically everything but the record then.
Right. Yeah, and the sketch. So there's a sketch card commission in the Warrior of Light bundle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
wow. I mean, that's a hell of a deal for the. Man, that's a hell of a deal for $100. That's a lot of stuff.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And I draw every sketch card live. Every commission is live.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I often don't do commissions live just because I want to surprise the person.
Sure.
But that's wicked cool, man.
This way it's documented for them. They could see it.
Right.
And they could be like, "Oh, this is how we made it. Let's put it on the screen."
Yeah, see, that's why I do the chronal compressions. I'll record it and then I'll do a time lapse of it.
Oh,
I'll speed it up,
there you go.
and then I'll talk over it, and then because I did a couple of sketch covers for some former customers of mine from the comic shop, and I did a time lapse of it, talked about them, and then I sent them the link so they could show it to their friends, be like, "Hey, see, he's making a thing." Yeah,
it's real.
So they seem exactly. It's real. It's not AI.
Yeah, it's not AI exactly.
Right. Eventually we're gonna have that documentation.
Oh my goodness, I know.
Man, these cards are cool. So Pete did the design work for the cards.
For the sketch cards.
For these the trading cards down here at the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, those cards. Yeah. Yeah, he did those. I sent him the art.
That's awesome.
He just put it all together.
Yeah. Rex Doom says, "I didn't know it was out of print. Glad I have it." Yeah. There you go, man. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Hang on to it, man.
Absolutely. I mean, I love all the Alterna books that I've gotten. I mean, our shop didn't get a lot in the way of Alterna, but when they popped up, I saw those two. They were the Blood Realm books were up at the top of the wall because we had a wall of the new stuff that came in, and I saw those two Blood Realm books, and I was like, man, those covers just really stand out. They pop out. I mean, I love the black and white and red that you're doing. You got the kind of the gray tones as well, but like the graphic quality of this, man, the contrast, the stark black and white, and then the touch of red in there. I think it's
Sure.
I mean, it fits with the name of the book, Blood Realm. It kind of it all works together. It's all storytelling, right? It all adds to the story that's being told. You know.
You're right. It makes it feel like it's this unique universe, and that was the idea too. You know, again, being a fan of history and teaching history, art histories in particular, I always loved medieval manuscripts, and I love that tactile feel, you know, to the book.
100%. I think I would say that you achieved it, man. It definitely has a unique feel. It has a unique look. When you see Blood Realm, you instantly know it's Blood Realm. You know, that's just awesome. the way that you've put it together. So you're going to be up to issue 18 when this the story arc is done. How long is this story in your mind, or is it just a continuous story, kind of like E. Howard's Conan?
Yeah, I have an ending. I know exactly how it's going to end. But what happens is I just keep getting new ideas to enhance the journey to that ending.
Yes.
So that's basically it, and it's good because I know that ending. You know, I know how we can make it even more special or build it up, you know.
Right.
So the ending is finite. Like I know exactly how it's going to conclude. So like I said, getting there now is just going to be even more fun.
Right, and knowing that ending, you know where you can slot in the different stories that pop up.
Exactly.
Dig it. Exactly. Absolutely. Let's see, what was I going? Oh, tell me about this this figure here. This thing is badass, dude. So Shadowpunk does good work.
Amazing work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So our first stretch goal is unlocking a special perk for this.
You're almost there.
Almost there, because that's including the total from the Alterna Comics website. People backed on that website as well. So we're literally like less than $100 away. When you combine it with that.
That is fantastic, man.
Yeah, so I can't wait. It's a little over 5 inches, and it's going to be a limited print run of gray and metallic red. We'll have also an even lesser print run in metallic red. And because people requested gray because I want to paint them. So I think that's fantastic.
Totally.
And it's a high quality premium sculpture, statue. So and resin. It's going to be nice solid resin, not hollow. And just have the logo of the Iron Wolves, KYRON MORVEL with his flame sword. And I just
so cool, man. I love the detail that he was able to get.
It's unreal.
You know?
It's unreal what he did.
Wow. That is fantastic. Yeah. That is awesome, man.
We're almost there. It's a matter of time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, seriously, one more Warrior of Light bundle, and you're there. Yeah. Seriously. That is exciting. I love seeing stuff like this. Not only do I love seeing T-shirts made, you know, because I'm a big fan of T-shirts, obviously, but you know, stuff like that. It really merch. People love merch. People like to represent the stuff that they love. That's why they have baseball hats and T-shirts and keychains and whatnot. People love to represent the stuff that they love, and this is something that will be fantastic to put up on the shelf. I mean, when Jason Krager did Hammer, I actually I love showing this off because I absolutely love this statue. But he did this is his version of Loki.
Oh wow.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That's
awesome. He actually reached out to me and asked me if I wanted it painted, and I was like, yeah.
Wow, you did a great job.
So, yeah, he's awesome. Krager is fantastic. He's currently working on a book called Meathead with my buddy Will Perdomo, writer of Black Flag.
Cool.
But yeah, Krager did Jawbone Death with Adam Lawson. He did Kill Journal with Adam Lawson, and Hammer was his post Ragnarok story that he did that is just absolutely fantastic. But I love stuff like this. People dig stuff like this because it gives them something to put on the shelf. It gives them something to represent their fandom. And I think stuff like this is great. People need this kind of stuff. So I'm wicked excited for you to be getting this out. Is this the first figure for Blood Realm, like the first statue?
So I had made smaller ones, not as complicated, but they were the Sisters of Silence from the first volume. But they were kind of nice, looked like a relic, this old kind of totem. This is the most.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
This is the first real detailed premium statue.
Awesome. Awesome. And so when are you looking to fulfill this campaign?
October. We're almost done. We
Nice.
just have to wrap up the art for issue 18. KEIR's almost done, and that's it.
Awesome.
I mean, it's going to be lettering and getting this out because Pete wants to have like an October release.
I mean, October's the perfect time for this. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's got the theme and the feel for it. So I can totally see that.
Wait, I'm just so excited.
I bet, man, this is epic. And like you said, this is the longest miniseries that you've done so far, the longest chapter. So
6 issues and 32 pages each issue. So you're getting your money's worth for sure.
awesome. So what's I guess the Blood Realm is just what's next. I usually ask like what's next. Is there another story that you would want to work on? Would you ever want to take a break from Blood Realm and do something different, or is this like this is your passion project?
This is the big one, but I do have a smaller project that I work on. It's called Wirehead. It's a yeah.
I didn't realize that was you. That's awesome, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean I've heard of Wirehead. I haven't read it yet, but yeah, I've heard good things about it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's out of print. So we're hoping to do something now. Pete maybe collaborate and maybe he'll print it as a giant or something because I'm out of all of my copies. It was a fun, really cool slasher. Mixed with a little bit of World War II history, and it's a lot of people request. I would like to do a sequel. I have art that KEIR already did for it, so it's just a matter of time for that. After this wraps,
sure,
I'll do that, and that'll kind of like give a nice little Wirehead 1 and 2 kind of thing.
That's cool. I mean, that's kind of the curse of being a creator is you've got all these different ideas, but there's only a certain amount of time that you have in the day to get them done.
Exactly.
That's awesome, man. Rex Doom is all about the Wirehead.
He loves Wirehead. He does love Wirehead. So
awesome.
He'll be back. He will be back.
Yeah, excellent. Well, keep your eyes peeled for it, folks. All right. Well, we've been going for a little over an hour here. Is there anything else you'd like to say about Blood Realm before we wrap this one up?
Just thank you so much for checking out the campaign and for listening to this conversation. Really means a lot. Thank you, Luke, for having me.
Oh, dude, this was great. I'm sorry that it took so long to get you on the show.
Oh,
I'm happy that we got you on though, man. This has been a great conversation.
It really has been. Seriously. And check out my YouTube channel, Geronimo Draws, where I talk about art history. I talk about my characters in Blood Realm. I do draw streams. So check that out. And we have a great time every time in the chat. We have really fun conversations as I draw.
Link is in the description of this video. Go check out all of his links. Go check out his website as well. So yeah, go support our boy Geronimo here.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for coming on. And chat, thank you for being here. You guys are fantastic. And remember,
Shop smart, shop S-Mart.